We would like to welcome you to our 2020 graduation ceremony. We thank our parents and family members of the class of 2020, the administration, faculty, and staff of South Florence High School who made this day possible. Before we begin our graduation ceremony, we would like to remind you that in spite of being outside, the ceremony is a distinguished and respectful event for all graduates and families. Every guest is asked to remain inside the vehicle throughout the ceremony. During the presentations, please do not sound any horns, noisemakers, or holler while the members of the graduating class are receiving their diplomas. Abiding by these requests preserves the dignity of this ceremony and shows respect for each of our graduates, all of who deserve proper attention and your respect. Thank you in advance for your cooperation. We will now receive the South Florence High School graduating class of 2020.
Josalyn Fulmore, Senior Class President, will now lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Male graduates, please remove your hats. All graduates, please remain standing for the pledge and singing of the Alma Mater. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The South Florence Choraleers would like to dedicate this virtual performance of the Alma Mater to Mrs. Mack. Thank you for your years of support.
All hail to thee, our Alma Mater, guardian of our youth. Your gold and blue shall lead us on in honor and in truth. Your wisdom gain shall be our guide to conquer and prevail. Sons and daughters sing, South Florence high, all hail.
Please stand for the national anthem. You may be seated.
On behalf of the class of 2020, Andrew Evans, Student Body President, will deliver welcoming remarks.
Good morning. As Student Body President of South Florence High School, I am honored to extend a very warm welcome to our parents, friends, teachers, administrators at all levels of Florence 1 schools, counselors, and other support staff personnel. Each one of you has been instrumental in helping us reach this milestone, so it is appropriate that we acknowledge your presence today. You have helped us face many challenges that we've encountered. Therefore, you are here this morning to share this once-in-a-lifetime memory with us. Some of you may have taken time from your jobs or other obligations, and we thank you for showing us how much you really care, not through monetary gifts, flowers, or other expensive gifts, but through your continued presence in our lives. Once again, my fellow graduates and I welcome you to our graduation ceremony.
On behalf of the administration, faculty, and staff of South Florence High School, it is my pleasure to welcome you to our graduation ceremony. This is a special day for our graduates, and we are honored to have such a tremendous gathering of family and friends present to support our seniors. At this time, I would like to recognize Superintendent Dr. Richard O'Malley, our distinguished honored guests, our board members, and South Florence High School administrative team. As I call your name, please stand and remain standing until all have been recognized. Dr. Richard O'Malley, Senator Lindsey Graham, Mr. Porter Stewart, Chairperson of Board of Trustees for Florence 1 Schools, Mrs. Tricia Calder, Mr. Brian Chapman, Mr. Davey Gregg, Mr. John Galloway, Mr. Alexis Pipkins, Mr. Gregory Hall, Assistant Superintendent, Mrs. Jackie Schuler, Assistant Principal, Mr. Felix Jordan, Family Liaison, Mrs. Lisa Suggs, Assistant Principal, Mr. Gregory Dukes, Assistant Principal, Mr. Brenton Coe, Assistant Principal, Ms. Shemekia Nero, Assistant Principal. Please join me in giving them a round of applause. Thank you. Now, graduates, please join me in recognizing parents, family members, and guests, in addition to the faculty and staff, for their encouragement and support over the last 13+ years of your education. Thanks to each of you for your love and care. At this time, I'm honored to recognize our top graduates. The Salutatorian and Valedictorian of the class are chosen based on the South Carolina Uniform Weighted Grading Scale. I'm privileged to present this year's Salutatorian, Rachel Shumate. Rachel, will you please stand? Rachel Nicole Shumate is the daughter of James and Debbie Shumate and sister of Nathan Shumate. Over the course of high school, she participated in Rho Kappa, National Arts Honor Society, Palmetto Girls State, and Beta Club. Rachel also ran for the school's cross-country and track and field teams. After graduation, Rachel will attend basic training at Parris Island in hopes of becoming a United States Marine. Now I'm privileged to present Dylan Gandy, our valedictorian. Dylan, will you please stand? Dylan Cole Gandy is the son of Karen Gandy and the brother of Amber Lee and Maddie. Because of his love for math, he will be attending Emory University in the fall on a full scholarship to pursue his degree in applied mathematics. After earning his degree, Dylan plans to follow his passion for education and become a high school math teacher. On his path to becoming a math teacher, Dylan has been a math tutor at South Florence for the past 3 years and an instructor at the Mathnasium Learning Center, Florence, for the past year. Dylan has also participated in numerous clubs and activities while at South Florence. He served in student government for 4 years, most recently in his position as student body parliamentarian. He is an active member of the National Honor Society, Beta Club, academic team, math team, and was a delegate of Palmetto Boys State. In addition, he has served as Secretary of National English Honor Society, as Treasurer of Rho Kappa, as Senator of the Florence I Delegation of Youth and Government, and as President of the Key Club. One of his proudest achievements is the co-founding of the Student Facilities Committee that has advocated for improved conditions for all the schools in Florence I schools. This year, in a show of absolute unity and camaraderie, our valedictorian and salutatorian of the class of 2020 will present a joint speech. Ladies and gentlemen, I present Dylan Gandy and Rachel Shumate.
Good morning, fellow graduates of the class of 2020.
Today marks an important achievement for all of us, one that we have dreamed of since we first started school. But it is important to remember that we did not get here on our own. For that, we would like to start off by thanking all of the people that made it possible for today to happen. So thank you, friends and family that lifted us up when we were down. Thank you, faculty and staff, for providing a place for us to learn about life and ourselves. But moreover, thank you to the countless teachers who poured knowledge into us, investing so much time and energy into shaping us to be the graduates that we are today. And finally, thank you to our wonderful principal, Miss Mack, Superintendent Dr. O'Malley, and school board members for making this day really happen.
But getting here was the real struggle. As kids, we never thought life would be as strange as it is. When thinking of high school, many of us saw it through the lens that Disney had portrayed on TV. High school was a time of first loves and weekend parties, a time to let loose and discover ourselves. But life turned out to be very different from the cliches of High School Musical. Our parents witnessed the descent of the planes into the World Trade Center on September 11th, shortly before our births. As children, we watched them struggle to make ends meet during the 2008 recession. even now, we are separated from our friends and our loved ones, distancing ourselves to protect them from the possibility of transmitting COVID-19. As for high school, it was no walk in the park either. We bombed tests and started and ended friendships, all while questioning who we are. Despite this, high school prepared us for this and more.
As incoming freshmen, we walked through the halls and into classrooms, settling into seats expecting to learn only enough to pass. Instead, we were met with life lessons embedded into the lectures of our teachers. In English class, as we struggled to comprehend Shakespeare and Hawthorne, we learned the skill and power of communication. We were warned of past mistakes in history and in government, and encouraged to take part in social change. While dealing with problems of our own, math class showed us how every problem has a solution, and also has multiple approaches to arrive at the same conclusion. We learned to express ourselves through the arts, and science taught us to never stop questioning the world around us.
With each of these new life skills, we discovered the power to overcome obstacles that oppose us. We gain the ability to rise from the ashes when we are raised to the ground. We learn to see the bright possibilities in a grim present. We ascertained how to communicate with each other over any distance that separated us. We inherited the life lessons passed through generations to carry us into the odyssey that is life.
In the end, I think we can all say with surety that high school was more than we expected it to be. As we walk into whatever adventure life has in store for us next, we take with us the lesson that life never happens the way we expect it to, and that's okay. Through adversity, we discover tenacity. Through discomfort, we become our strongest. And through loss, we discover the worth in things.
So graduates, have hope. Hold hope that we are resilient and will persevere through life's hardest challenges. Today, we walk across this stage knowing that we are prepared for what may come in the future, because no problem in the past has stopped us before. Congratulations to the class of 2020!
Peace, we out!
Graduates, platform guests, parents, and faculty. The special guest for our graduation ceremony is a native South Carolinian who grew up in a blue-collar family in the small town of Central, where his parents owned and operated restaurant and pool hall. He, like many of us, was the first member of his family to go to college. Our speaker earned his undergraduate and law degrees from the University of South Carolina. When our speaker is not in Washington, he lives in Seneca and is a member of Corinth Baptist Church. Our speaker was elected to the United States Senate in 2002 and was re-elected in 2008 and 2014. Currently, our speaker serves as chairman of the Senate Judiciary Committee. Prior to serving in the Senate, our speaker was elected to the U.S. House of Representatives in 1994. Before he was elected to Congress, our speaker compiled and distinguished record in the United States Air Force. Upon leaving active duty Air Force in 1989, our speaker joined the South Carolina Air National Guard, where he served until 1995. In 1995, our speaker joined the U.S. Air Force Reserves and retired from the Air Force Reserves in June 2015. Having served his country in uniform for 33 years, he retired at the rank of colonel. Everyone, please join me in welcoming the special guest speaker for South Florence High School for our graduation ceremony, the Honorable Lindsey Graham.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Well, I have the pleasure of giving the third best speech today. A round of applause for those two. That was awesome. Y'all did really a good job. Thank you for a kind introduction. To all the parents out there, they made it. To the graduates, y'all are tough. Just look what you've been through in a short period of time. To the young lady, you going in the Marines?
Yes, sir.
How about a round of applause for that? I've been to Iraq and Afghanistan over 50 times. Spent 33 years in uniform. Spent about 160 days on the ground in Iraq and Afghanistan as part of the Air Force Reserves. Young lady, you're the terrorist's worst nightmare. Tough, smart young lady from Florence, South Carolina, going to keep the world safe. God bless you. So, I'm the only thing between you and graduating, so I'll make it short so we don't get wet. The introduction I appreciate. 47 years ago, I was sitting where you were sitting and had no idea what was coming my way. If you told me I'd been in the Senate in 2020, I thought you should not be allowed to drive in our state. I made 800 on the SAT. That's both parts. The bad news is I'm one of the smarter ones in the Senate, and I think it shows. So we live in a country where you can grow up in the back of a bar and become a U.S. Senator. That's an amazing country we live in. The class of 2020, you have seen more than your fair share already. This is a happy occasion, parents, grandparents, family, and friends celebrating a milestone in your life, and we can't hug each other. You have to wear a mask. Let me tell you a little bit about the world in which we live in. This happy occasion is done in very sad times. 100,000 Americans have lost their life to COVID-19. A virus you can't see with your eyes that came from a place most of us have no idea where it is, Wuhan, China. The only thing I can tell you is that the world is really small. If you had told me in Christmas 40 million Americans would be unemployed, 100,000 people have died from a virus that started in China, I wouldn't believe you. I believe you now. Having this graduation is a big step forward. Mr. O'Malley, thank you for making this possible. These kids deserve this. And I know it was a logistical challenge, but we did it. So, adapting and changing. If you can't adapt and you can't change, you're going to get left behind. As previously said, I'm the first in my family to go to college. Neither one of my parents graduated high school. But they had hopes and dreams for me and my sister. And those hopes and dreams were realized because a lot of people helped me. A lot of people believed in me when I did not believe in myself. Teachers, coaches, family and friends picking me up when I didn't have the energy on my own to get back up. I don't have a whole lot of wisdom to pass on to you, but I can tell you a few things that will stand the test of time. You've got to be willing to adapt or change. Your education is just beginning, it's not ending. This economy will open up soon, I hope. We'll find a vaccine for the virus. We'll find treatments to keep people out of the hospital. Then there's going to be a new economy emerge. The old economy is gone. The possibilities you have are unlimited. In the middle of very sad and dangerous times, I'm here to tell you that you can knock it out of the park because the economy is going to come roaring back, and we're going to depend on you to take us to the next level. So I've never seen more opportunity for a graduating class than I do right now, surrounded by a lot of disappointment and despair. America will come back. Do not bet against her. Finally, the one thing I know for sure that will stand the test of time: don't take anything for granted. If we've learned anything from this virus, is that our old life wasn't as bad as we thought it was. Just being able to go to a movie or going out and enjoying yourself. We took that for granted, but not anymore. I had my first haircut 2 weeks ago. I never was so excited to get a haircut in my life. So we're going to slowly but surely come back. And 47 years from now, I'll be long gone, but you'll be in a stage of your life where you'll be looking back. And trust me, it goes quick. The older you get, the more you think about what matters the most to you. I graduated from Daniel High School toward the bottom of my class. I went to the University of South Carolina. I still wonder how I got in. But with a lot of help, I made it. Went into the Air Force, eventually law school. Tried 1 year not to get in and tried again, and I made it. Don't give up. There's a place for people like me and you if you're in my shoes. To the two smart ones here, we're gaining on you. Keep it up, very impressive. So I graduate from Daniel. 4 years later, 5 years later, both my parents are deceased. When I was a junior in college, my mom was diagnosed with Hodgkin's disease. And on graduation day, I never envisioned losing my mom in 3 years. Things can change, and they can change quickly. 15 months later, my dad passed. I'm 21, 22, my sister's 13. On graduation day, I couldn't envision within 4 to 5 years my life being turned upside down. Don't take anything for granted. Life can throw you some really tough curveballs. But also realize that you don't have to be trapped in bad circumstances. If it weren't for family and friends getting me through those tough times, helping me raise my sister, I would not be here today. So to the class of 2020, you live in a tough world, an ever-changing world. Sometimes it can be cruel, but my money's on you. You've made it this far. God willing, the best is yet to come. And when you get knocked down, remember, you can get back up. To the parents and all those who've been behind the graduating class of 2020, I hope you enjoyed this moment. This is a good reflection upon you. To this young lady who's going to join the Marines, thank you for being willing to defend the rest of us. This is an age of marvel. We got a drone flying around here somewhere. When I grew up, we had 3 TV channels and the remote control was the youngest kid. Things are changing so fast and the world is so uncertain. Hang on to the ones you love, because when you get near the end of your life, you're not going to be thinking about diplomas or money. You're going to be thinking about those who helped shape your life. To the class of 2020, America needs you. You are our hope. 75 years ago this year, World War II ended. After 4 years of bloody conflict and 50 million dead. The people who fought that war were basically your age. Your graduation is surreal. You're having to sit 6 feet apart and wear a mask. All this happened because of one guy in China getting a virus that spread to the world. The best is yet to come. You're lucky to be an American. And when I'm around people throughout this country, I remind them how lucky we are as a nation to have people like you. As I said, I went to Iraq and Afghanistan over 50-something times. The average age of a Marine in Afghanistan is about 20. The average age of a fighter pilot is about 28. It's young people that make a great nation. Let it be said that the Bruins of South Florence will do their part. Well done.
Senator Graham, will you come back up here? On behalf of the class of 2020 South Florence High School, we present you with this token.
Thank you.
Florence 1 School District Board Trustees, Dr. O'Malley, faculty, staff, parents, and guests, as principal of South Florence High School, I hereby certify that the seniors seated before you have met all the requirements set forth by Florence 1 schools and the state of South Carolina for graduation. Parents and guests, the graduates before you are very special to all of us, and this next part of the ceremony is when our moments become their memories. It is our goal that these memories are ones of pride and dignity of how they and their loved ones behaved. As we begin awarding diplomas, we all play a part in creating the memories that these graduates will always carry with them after their graduation ceremony. In order to honor each graduate as his or her name is called, we ask that you remain inside your parked vehicles. Parents and guests, please do not leave the parking area until all graduates have been dismissed from the ceremony. We recognize that there is more than one way to celebrate accomplishment. Thank you in advance for your cooperation in helping to make this part of the celebration of these young people ceremonial and dignified. At this time, we will begin the presentation of diplomas.
Dylan Cole Gandy. Rachel Nicole Shoemake. Andrew Charles Evans. Josalyn Tania Fulmore. Natasia Iana Abrams. Blakely Michelle Adams. Jalen Edward Allen. Tanasia Nakara Alston. Cynthia Caitlin Aponte. Jordan Elliott Ashley. Pearson Maurice Ashley. Andre Malik Atkins. Madison Lee Atkinson. Jasmine Charday Alston. Nestor Samuel Avalar Arazo. Amaya Sincere Backus. Dawson Paul Baker. Jeremiah Carlos Baker. Kiera Leasia Baker. Frank McLeod Bateman. Meredith Logan Baxley. Sarah Beatty. Cardan Dominique Bell. Madison Kim Bennett. Najee Ombre Bethay. Princess Lori Marie Bigelow. Tania Renee Birdsell Moses. Bryson Dale Blackman. Josie Robina Blackman. Luke William Blankenship. Micaiah Leandria Blow. Lucas Austin Bostick. Jacob Robert Braddock. Triana Jalaisha Bradley. Robert Jacob Brewer. Stephen Randolph Bridges. Tiffany Nicole Bristow. Emily Christian Brock. Lamisha Yvonne Samira Brockington. Hannah Alexis Browder. Alyssa Devine Brown. Antonio Jamarcus Brown. Imani Deonjay Brown. Kevin Tyler Brown. Laterian Amez Brown. Rachel Chaplin Buckner. Kaia Monet Birch. Trayvon Rashad Burgess. Anna Kathleen Cagle. Coley Virginia Rose Cagle. Toya Lindsey Canteen. Kayla Elaine Cantley. Drayson William Capers, I'm sorry. Cameron Hayden Karsten. Shaquaria Qualea Cockfield. Austin Richard Coleman. Abigail Elizabeth Collins. Joshua David Collins. Lindsey Taylor Collins. Chase Devarius Cooper. Asher Caleb Cooper. Tania Lorraine Cooper. William Redden Coward. Megan Courtney Kramer. Aubrey Grace Crawford. James Raquan Crawford. Alexa Claire Cribb. Andrew William Cribb. Early Ariana Q. Tyrese Keyshawn Q. Milton Harley Cusack. Aaron Lee Dale. India Zanae Damon. Jordan Noel Danford. Angel Lee Dang. Lori Elizabeth Dang. Bryce Lorenzo Daniels. Ebony Angel Davis. Kylie Shay Davis. Micah Lurie Davis. Terrell Nicholas Devon. Tyreek Raquel Dickerson. Denasia Shanika Dixon. Bailey Kendall Dodd. Mackenzie Ryan Doherty. Shanika Kishana Dorsey. Grace Ellison Dotson. Danielle Alexis Douglas. Garrett Elizabeth Doyle. Christian Tyler Driggers. Colby Ray Driggers. John Clay Eady. Causey Dean Ellis. Bylise Marcasia Irvin. Carlos Jaden Reese Farmer. Tyshawn Rashard Faison. Micaiah Monet Fitz. Mason Paul Flowers. Samuel Tyson Flowers. Dylan Reed Fowler. Tegan Kayleen Fowler. Victoria Parker Fuller. Amadia Shacobio Maria Fulmore. Brandon Elijah Gallo. Marcus Cornelius Gamble, Jr. Nomun Guntulga. Liera Salih Gargula. Donovan Isaiah G. Anna Grace Gerald. Luke David Giddings. Alex Emmanuel Coy Guamien. Malaysia Nisha Godbolt. Niles Matthew Godbolt. Aaron Malik Gordon. Trinity Shabrell Gordon. Jamari Brianna Graham. Markira Sanai Graham. Markayla Brianna Graham. Shania Amani Grant. James Earl Gray III. Andrew David Green. Andrew David Green. Makira Sania Gregg. Taylor Michaela Gribben. Joseph Gabriel Gutierrez. Christy Lee Hamoy. Jean Carlos Guzman. Crystal Corinne Hannah. Cameron Malik Harper. Carly Jean Harper. Grayson Edwin Harrell. Cavante Leo Harrison. Tamaria Lenasia Harrison. Jonathan Lee Hazelden Jr. Ayana Janaya Hayes. Daquan Otley Heron. Jaheim Lamar Henderson. Andre Alexander Hernandez Ortiz. Brianna Nicole Hewitt. What is it? Nikaya Zaisha Hickman. Jamel Christopher Jerome Hickson. Jason Graham Hill Jr. Richard Wade Hill Jr. Samuel Alfred Hill II. Ethan Thomas Holland. Sarah Elizabeth Holland. Tabrion Nakeem Holloman. Ayana Aria Horsted. Matthew Sean Howard. Jordan Ashley Hughes. Lauren Nicole Hughes. Joshua Hart Hutchinson. Sydney Jordan Hyman. Jordan Xavier Isaac. Zaria Tatiana Isaiah. Cameron Angel Marie Isgett. Isaiah Antonio Jackson. Justice Mandela Jackson. Keyshawn Demetrius Jackson. Cambria Najee Imani Jacobs. Zachary Matthew Jacobs. Brianna Christine James. Olivia Nicole James. Shanovia Shanitha James. Felipe Antonio Jimenez. Destiny Simone Johnson. Melvin Hollis Johnson III. Shaasia Renee Johnson. Emery Jalen Jones. Harper Madison Jones. Houston Mackenzie Jones. India Armani Jones. Quentin Deshaun Jones II. Taylor Brooke Joyner. Brandon Phillip Julius. He got it. Cavassier Devontae Green.
Madeline Nicole Kennedy. Zamia Charmaine Tysina Kennedy. Jessica Lorene Kennington. Charlotte Olivia Kinlaw. Alexis Elizabeth Kirby. Amos Ahmad Cowles. Madison Grace Lambert. Madeline James Lawrence. Cassidy Elaine Lowry. Hannah Grace Leach. Caden Elizabeth Lee. Jamel Iverson Lassane. George Jayon Lewis. Victoria May Lewis. Megan Thompson Laughlin. Jaquan Rashad Lowry. Cameron Ayana Lowry. Osha Zaisha Lucas. Joseph Tyreek Lyde III. Brooke Elaine Lynch. Madison Bailey Lynch. Elijah Lake Martin. Emma Nell Martin. Candace Leanne Matherly. Connor James Mathis. Billy John McAllister III. Morgan Victoria McCaskill. Joshua David McCoy. John Andrew McCutcheon. Noah McDonald. Jamal McDuffie. Jamie Laurel McElveen. Michael Roy McElveen. Chase Alexis McGee. Hunter Michael McGee. Nija Terrion McGill. Sandra Diane McKinney. Joshua Evan McKenzie. Anthony Dimitri McKithen Jr. Brandon Jakiri McLeod. Derica Simone McLeod. Jeremiah Anderson Medina. Shamar Montrell Minchin. Madison Riley Miles. Ashlyn Brooke Mitchell. Question Denard Mitchell. Tyree Malik Mitchell. Tori Elizabeth Mixon. Skylar Elizabeth Monson. Anna Kirby Moore. Lola Rose Moore. Malik Triquez Moore. Parker Davidson Moore. Ivan Edward Morris. Sarah Margaret Morris. Haley Nicole Morris McCullum. Jalen Sharon Muzon. Leah Muldrow. Michaela Elizabeth Muldrow. Tamira Rihanna Muldrow. Chloe Grace Nance. Brittany Ann Nelson. Christian James Newman. Abria Farrell Newton. Ishay Neval Nixon. Chandler Reese Norman. Sean Richardson Norman Jr. Lily Catherine Odom. Zybria Noretta Palmer. Samuel Christian Parker. Spencer Brandon Parker. Dalton Keith Pate. Naya Jamesia P. Alea Ajne Perry. Brianna Storm Phillips. Dylan Walter Phillips. Lakea Monet Pygott. Aiden Victoria Plyler. Jaquez Porter. Randall Poston. Nathaniel Keith Powell. Abigail Marie Powers. Joshua Michael Price. Caitlin Mackenzie Priester. Lucas Drayton Prince. Trequan Jabari Laverne Reeves. Jacob DeWitt Reeder. Caitlin Anna Marie Richardson. Ayana Jaden Riley. Anaya Janai Roberts. Jarian Shaquille Robinson. Jalen Zachariah LaFawn Robinson. Emily Rose Rogers. Alejandro Ramiro. Shalia Demisha Rose. Tatiana Jabria Ross. Ambrielle Shadell Salters. Braxton Daquan Samuel. Evelyn Sanchez Hernandez. Logan Hayes Sanders. Luis Yair Sandoval. Shide Latanice Sanders. Amber Nicole Scott. Brandon Christopher Scott. Stephen Nathaniel Scott Jr. Jasmine Charlene Sheriff. Christopher Allen Shields. Unique Zaquan Sheard. Chase Micaiah Schuler. Aaron Marcus Simmons. Savion Dwayne Sims. Ahmad Nazir Singletary. Diamond Zanetta Singletary. Donovan Singletary. Jamar Charles Singleton. Jayla Ashanti Singleton. Javion Lamar Smith. Maya Brianna Smith. Alana Taylor Snowden. Justice Corinne Snowden. Kara Michelle Snowden. Brian Lorenzo Sparks. Brianna Lene Sparks. Zavarius Jaheim Spates. John Andrew Starling. Reed Alexander Stevens. Jashanti Martinique Setlight. Kennedy Madison Stives. Cassandra Nicole Sykes. Ashley Nicole Tart. Titus Washington Thomas. Marlasia Janaya Amaria Tompkins. Caitlin Faye Thompson. April Timmons. Chance Remari Timmons. Ramona Lanicia Tony. Lanicia Tony, sorry. Tamra Sierra Tony. Shamira Janelle Toomer. Jakaya Clara Torres. Brianna Andrea Turner. Tyler Harold Turner. Genesis Emily Villat. Hunter Jacob Walters. Simone Keon Warren. Brandon Ty Weatherford. I'm sorry, Braden Ty Weatherford. James Edward Weatherford II. Jason Carter Weatherford Jr. Haley Lindsey Wilhelm. Brianna Gail Wilkes. Davion Janae Williams. Elijah Mackay Williams. Janaya Lanier Williams. Kenyetta Jamarion Williams Jr. Summer Nicole Williams. Edward Justin Wilson Jr. Shania Kimberly Wilson. Valdez Armani Wilson. Morgan Elizabeth Wyndham. Alyssa Reagan Woodard. Caleb Brian Woodard. Carson Wesley Wooten. Paige Raquel Wright. Graham Dean Presley Yates. Caitlin Michelle Young. Kai Zing. Malaysia Oshana Zimmerman. Naidi Nambos Samb.
Seniors, I'm honestly humbled to be your principal and overjoyed to be here at this moment. My personal goal has been to help you achieve your dreams and desires. Today, as you have received evidence of your completion of high school through the diplomas awarded to you, I want to share with you the words of one of my favorite songs by Vashawn Mitchell. It won't always be like this. This is my message of hope to the class of 2020. It won't always be social distancing, virtual classes, gloves, masks, hand sanitizer, new normals, unprecedented and unknowns. I encourage you to embrace the challenges that the pandemic has posed and use this time to create ways to protect yourselves and others, ways to bridge the gap where you can't reach out and touch somebody's hand. Now is the time to show the world why the class of 2020 is special. Your class was created for such a time as this. You are the hope of the future. So as you close the door on your slightly peculiar high school experience, remember that if you made it to this point, and I know for some of you the fight was particularly hard, but if you made it to this point, then you have all the skills you need to make it to the next level. I believe in you, your worth, your ability, and it has been my honor to see you to this point. All right, y'all, we're almost done. At this time, Josalyn Fulmore, your senior class president, will share a farewell.
May the road rise up to meet you. May the wind always be at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face, the rain fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hands.
Board members, Dr. O'Malley, faculty and staff, parents and guests, it is my honor to present to you South Florence High School's graduating class of 2020. Congratulations, graduates. The hats are flying. Parents and guests, please remain in your cars. If your graduate rode with you, please stay parked and wait for them to join you. We will begin our recessional at this time.